back into number 10 and here to stay. 5 more years for Boris Johnson and the Conservatives. A gruelling campaign for this Prime Minister and his team. But they've delivered an election win that will take us out of Europe and reshape Britain.
I am forming a new government, and on Monday, MPs will arrive at Westminster to form a new parliament. And yes, they will have an overwhelming mandate from this election to get Brexit done, and we will honour that mandate by January the 31st.
After an ugly campaign, now an appeal to move on.
I urge everyone to find closure and to let the healing begin. We are going to unite and level up. Unite and level up, bringing together the whole of this incredible United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, together. This country deserves a break from wrangling, a break from politics, and a permanent break from talking about Brexit. Thank you all very much, and happy Christmas. Thank you.
Boris Johnson, the most successful Conservative Prime Minister at the ballot box since Margaret Thatcher. He took a huge gamble on this Christmas election and it paid off big time. Had he lost, he'd have ended up as the 3rd shortest-serving Prime Minister in British history. As it is, he's won a huge mandate to transform our country.
That have worked extremely hard tonight.
The scale of his victory reflected in Labour's failure. The so-called Red Wall across Labour's traditional heartlands demolished.
The Conservative Party candidate.
The Conservative Party candidate.
19,609.
Seat after seat fall into the Conservatives, bulldozed by Brexit. This the end for Jeremy Corbyn and his political project too.
I did everything I possibly could in order to bridge the divide between those that voted leave and those that voted remain. Because at the end of the day, they're going to live in a country where we're going to need that investment for the future. We're going to have, if this government stays in office, more homelessness, more divisions, and a bigger gap between the richest and the poorest. And so I did everything I could. Of course, I take responsibility for putting the manifesto forward, but I have to say the manifesto was universally supported throughout our party and throughout our movement.
His not the only political career cut short.
Have you lost your seat, Miss Swinson?
A few weeks ago, Jo Swinson said she could be Prime Minister. Now she's lost her seat and with it her job.
Obviously, it hasn't worked. And I, like you, am devastated about that. But I don't regret trying.
Elections are brutal, but no sympathy from the SNP. Their leader euphoric that she took her rival out, tightening their grip on Scotland and strengthening their case for independence.
So to the Prime Minister, let me be very clear. This is not simply a demand that I or the SNP are making. It is the right of the people of Scotland. And you, as the leader of a defeated party in Scotland, have no right to stand in the way.
And in Northern Ireland too, the plates are shifting. The DUP's Westminster leader cast aside in this election. For the first time ever, this nation has elected more nationalist MPs than unionists. For the first time in a decade, we've got no narrow majority, no coalition, no minority government. Boris Johnson has won a big, fat majority, and it's going to make that place behind me much more manageable for him. But he's got big challenges too. He's got just 1 year to turn his slogan, "Get Brexit Done," into reality. And he's also got to figure out a way to knit together his traditional Tory voters in the shires of England with his new supporters in the industrial heartlands that have voted Labour for generations. And there are questions too about what Boris Johnson's United Kingdom might look like in 5 years' time. Brexit will happen, but independence from the EU will strain our union as Scotland and perhaps Northern Ireland too bang the drum for independence. Boris Johnson's in power and in number 10, but some things remain out of his control. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.